Another day, another migraine.
Squidward Q Tentacles hates his job. Even though he's one of the longest working employees at the Krusty Krab, he can't quit. Fans have been debating this topic for years. Is Squidward controlled by someone? Is he just stubborn, or does he lack the skill to leave? Personally, I think he's living in purgatory, trapped in a system that's impossible to escape. Join me as I explain all the theories about why Squidward can't quit his job. I know many of you have probably wondered if Squidward ever tried to quit his job. The short answer is yes. And the long answer is yes! Not once, but many times. And this leads to a big theory. Is someone or something controlling or manipulating Squidward? Is he forced to do his job? Let me explain. Squidward has in fact quit his job on many occasions, only to return. In Big Pink Loser, he quits after Patrick gets hired, only to come back later after finding nothing better to do.
Well, I guess it's safe to go in now.
A more dramatic example comes in Can You Spare a Dime?, where Squidward quits after being accused of stealing, becomes homeless, and is forced to beg for his job back. These examples show that the problem isn't a lack of desire to quit, it's his inability to stay away. Why can't Squidward find another job? He claims in Goodbye Krabby Patty that his 17 years as a cashier is not good enough to follow his dreams.
Apparently you need more than 17 years behind a cash register to be qualified for Dream.
This seems like a valid point, but the show provides a clear counter-argument. In SpongeBob You're Fired, SpongeBob, who has less experience, is immediately offered multiple jobs after getting fired.
Congratulations, SpongeBob. You've been promoted. My customers love your little sliders. Whoa! Let go! He's mine! I was here first.
No, I was.
This highlights a critical truth. The problem isn't the job market. It's Mr. Krabs' deliberate manipulation of Squidward. Mr. Krabs doesn't need to physically force Squidward to stay, because he has created a perfect system of exploitation. In the original Fry Cook, we learn that Squidward has been working for the same low pay he received years ago, unlike Jim, a former employee who had the courage to ask for a raise and was laughed out of the restaurant. Squidward is an ideal employee for a cheap boss. He tolerates low pay because he sees his job as temporary while waiting for his music career to take off. The deepest layer of manipulation is how Mr. Krabs actively sabotages Squidward's life to ensure he never becomes successful enough to leave. The evidence for this is undeniable. In Hello Bikini Bottom, Squidward and SpongeBob get discovered by a talent manager, Colonel Caper, and have a real chance at fame. Mr. Krabs, however, takes over as their manager out of pure greed, ruining their chance at success and squandering Squidward's best opportunity to escape. This isn't an isolated incident. In The Play's the Thing, Mr. Krabs commercializes the audience's hatred of Squidward's performance, effectively turning his dreams into a profit. The most blatant example is in the episodes Mr. Krabs tells SpongeBob, "If you two do find that clarinet, could you bring it to me so I smash it to pieces?"
If you two do find that clarinet, could you bring it to me so I can smash it to pieces?
He wants to destroy the very thing that gives Squidward hope. Therefore, the conclusion is clear. Squidward isn't trapped by a contract or a lack of options in Bikini Bottom. He is trapped by Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs isn't a puppet master forcing Squidward to work, but a master manipulator who exploits Squidward's financial desperation and actively sabotages his dreams to ensure he has no other choice but to stay. Another explanation can be Squidward is living in purgatory, which makes it impossible for him to ever quit the Krusty Krab. According to this theory, as Squidward despised his life, the constant disturbance of SpongeBob and the foolishness of Patrick, he literally ended his life. And now he is living in an afterlife, a purgatory. Squidward's miserable existence isn't just bad luck, it's punishment. The Krusty Krab becomes his eternal prison. No matter how many times he storms out, resigns, or dreams of escape, he always ends up back behind that cash register. It's not a coincidence, it's his sin manifesting. Some fans have pointed out that Squidward isn't just a depressed guy with a big nose. He's stubborn.
I don't care!
And that stubbornness might be the real reason why he can't quit his job at the Krusty Krab. Think about it. Squidward has always seen himself as smarter, more cultured, and more talented than the people around him.
I can become anything I set my mind to. I could be a football player, or a king, or a spaceman.
But that pride comes with a cost. He refuses to admit defeat, and he hates the idea of letting others think they've won. If Squidward were to quit, it wouldn't feel like freedom to him. It would feel like losing. It would mean SpongeBob's joy and Mr. Krabs' greed finally pushed him over the edge. And Squidward, being who he is, would never give them that satisfaction. We've seen this play out in episodes. In Can You Spare a Dime, Squidward storms out after being accused of stealing. For a moment, it looks like he's finally free. But instead of moving on, his stubborn pride keeps him stuck, homeless, broke, and refusing to swallow his ego. Eventually, he comes crawling back, right where he started. Or take Bossy Boots. Pearl changes the Krusty Krab into the Cuddly Crab, and Squidward quits again, not because he had a plan, but because he refused to work in a place he thought was beneath him. His stubbornness left him no real options. Here's the irony. Squidward dreams of a better life, fame, success, respect, but his stubbornness is the very thing holding him back. To chase those dreams, he'd need to swallow his pride, take risks, and face the possibility of failure. Instead, he stays exactly where he is, telling himself he's too good for the Krusty Krab while never leaving it. In the end, Squidward isn't chained to his job by SpongeBob or Mr. Krabs. He's chained by his own pride. His stubbornness keeps him locked in place, complaining about a life he secretly knows he'll never change. So maybe Squidward can't quit, not because he's depressed, not because he's broke, but because quitting would mean admitting defeat. And for Squidward tentacles, that's simply impossible. And that's the sad truth about Squidward. Maybe he's not trapped by Bikini Bottom at all, but by his own stubbornness. What do you think, guys? Is Squidward just a victim of his circumstances? Or is he his own worst enemy? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your take.